It has already been about 3 years since LEGO Lord of the Rings experienced a soft reboot, and while we still haven't gotten a single playset or a real wave of sets, LEGO has released quite a couple of big and expensive sets with a lot of minifigures. Because of that, there are quite a couple of expensive modern Lord of the Rings minifigures, and in this video I'm gonna show you the top 10 most expensive ones from this time span. As you could already see in the title, I will only include modern figures, which means that only minifigs that have been released since 2023 are eligible for this ranking, but I'm thinking about making an updated version for all minifigures somewhat soon. If you enjoy LEGO Lord of the Rings content, hit like and subscribe, and now let's head straight into the video. And starting off on spot number 10 with LOR 134 Orc from set number 10333 Barad-dûr, a set that we will hear a couple more times throughout this video. This figure currently costs about $20 and that is quite a lot for a regular Mordor Orc. This only shows how desperate Lord of the Rings fans are for more army buildable characters, and I would love to see a cheaper Orc battle pack set in the future. This specific Orc got some pretty cool printing and a nice helmet, but I personally wouldn't pay $20 for this one, and the only reason why he is that expensive is because he's exclusive to Barad-dûr. Moving on to the next spot, and here we have another Orc. LOR 136 Gothmog from once again set 10333 Barad-dûr is currently worth about $23, which I would pay much rather than $20 for a random Orc. Gothmog is a pretty prominent character in Return of the King, and the LEGO minifigure looks awesome as well. I love the very accurate face print, and the amount of details on his chest plate is insane. From afar he might not look that special, but if you take a closer look at him, you realize how good this figure really is. I still think that I would pay about $23 if I wouldn't already own him, but I do understand where his price is coming from. Spot number 8 goes to one of the newest minifigures on this list, and it's no other than LOR 145, the iconic Gandalf the White from 11377 Minas Tirith. LEGO actually made a new Gandalf design for the biggest Lord of the Rings set ever, and while I'm not sure which version I prefer, this version is definitely more on the expensive side with a current value of around $25. I prefer the new beige printing on Gandalf's torso and legs, but I'm not a fan of the pretty inaccurate beard and hairpiece. LEGO already had two more accurate pieces on the older Gandalf, and the fact that the new variant got worse in certain areas is just unacceptable. Because of these issues, I would say that $25 is way too much, but since he does come from a $650 set, you kinda know why he is that expensive. Another remake made it onto this list, and spot number 7 goes to LOR 140, the Mouth of Sauron from once again 10333 Barad-dûr. Being in the minifigure lineup of one of the most expensive sets in the theme is pretty helpful when it comes to value, cause this figure will currently set you back about $28. But besides that, it is also a very unique and interesting figure, and also cheaper than the previous version, which looks almost exactly the same. He comes with awesome printing on torso, hips and legs, as well as a creepy face print, a cape and a beautiful unique helmet mold, which makes this minifigure basically perfect. $30 is still a lot for a character that isn't that important, but I do understand why people pay such prices for him. Staying within the same set for spot number 6, we have no other than LOR 139, the Dark Lord himself, Sauron, from set 10333 Barad-dûr, as well as 11373, Sauron's helmet. Sauron will currently set you back around $31 in brand new condition, and since this is one of my absolute favorite minifigures in the entire theme, I do understand why. The value obviously went down after his re-release in the significantly cheaper helmet set, and I'm pretty sure that it will continue to do so in the near future, but $31 isn't all too bad for what you get here. Yeah, they didn't give him longer legs, but the printed details, the cape and especially the big armor and helmet pieces make up for that. The mold looks absolutely spectacular, and Sauron definitely has the presence of a Dark Lord. I'm happy for everyone who was finally able to get this figure through the helmet set, and I think that the villain of the movies, well besides the One Ring, should absolutely be available in cheaper sets. Already making our way into the first half, on spot number 5 we have one of the most disappointing releases in the entire theme, and of course I'm talking about LOR 160 Faramir from the current most expensive set in the line, 11377 Minas Tirith. Faramir has a current value of around $35, which makes sense considering that he is exclusive to a $650 set, a very beloved character, and this is his first ever official minifigure, but the quality is really lacking on this one. While I do really like the print quality and amount of details on his torso, hips and legs, I cannot ignore the bad likeness on the face print as well as the wrong color of his hair. Faramir just doesn't have this hair color in the movies, and while the lower half of the figure looks good, the upper half sadly ruins it. He's just not worth $35, and I'm very sad to say that, cause he definitely deserves a good and accurate looking figure. Next up on spot number 4, we actually have 4 minifigures. This is due to them being so similar that I didn't want to clog 4 spots of this list with 4 figures that are almost exactly the same and also cost almost exactly the same. This is why spot number 4 goes to LOR 155, 156, 161 and 162, the 4 different soldiers of Gondor from set 11377, Minas Tirith. As far as I am aware, the only differences are the face prints, and because of that they basically have almost the same value of $45 US. If this doesn't show LEGO that we need Lord of the Rings battle packs, then I don't know what will. People are paying over $40 for a singular Gondor soldier, so it is pretty safe to assume that battle packs would sell insanely well. The prices are of course still a bit inflated since the set hasn't been released for that long, but I doubt that the price is gonna drop all too much all too soon. The soldiers do have amazing printing on their torso and legs, but also on their armor, which looks incredible. While these shields have the wrong shape, the rest looks gorgeous and I'm happy that I own my 4 from Minas Tirith. Would I pay $45 to get more? No, that's just not worth it for me, but the figures do deserve their value in my opinion. Making our way into the podium, we have a figure that really surprised me, cause spot number 3 goes to no other than LOR 152 Smeagol from 40761, the Smeagol and Deagol gift with purchase. This was the GWP for the Shire set, and if you ask me, it is still the coolest of the gift with purchases for the big D2C sets, and that's mostly because of the cool minifigures that we wouldn't get in any other set. These characters aren't that important if you missed them, but they are a neat add-on if you buy an expensive set like the Shire. Smeagol will set you back about $57 US, which is an insane amount of money for a pretty simple hobbit. While his design is fairly simple, it is still executed really well, as he comes with great torso printing, dual molded legs, and a pretty accurate face and hair. Is he worth almost $60? Yeah, I wouldn't want to pay that, but the fact that LEGO actually turned this dark and morbid scene into a set was so cool, and I'm really happy that I got the gift with purchase with my Shire. Just closely missing the top spot, on spot number 2 we have the one and only King Elisar, LOR 163 Aragorn from set 11377, Minas Tirith. This is easily one of the most beautiful and stunning minifigures I have ever seen, and because of that and the high retail price of Minas Tirith, this version of Aragorn would set you back around $70 US, which is an insane price tag. I do get it though, since Aragorn comes with this amazing printing on torso, hips and legs, awesome details on his chest armor, he has arm printing on both arms, a double-sided cape, and he got this amazing uniquely molded hairpiece with his crown, which is unbelievable. The only downside is the inaccurate beard on the face print, but besides that it is a perfect and gorgeous minifigure. Yes, $70 is a lot, but it won't get much better than this. But now, finally spot number 1, and with that, the current most expensive modern Lord of the Rings figure is LOR 151 Deagol from once again 40761, the Smeagol and Deagol gift with purchase. Deagol is currently valued at around $97 and I actually could see him reaching that shiny 100 in the following years. There really isn't another set he could appear in, so LEGO would have to remake the GWP, and I don't think that this will happen anytime soon, if at all. 2 out of the 3 most expensive figures come from this very GWP, and I do understand why. The minifigs are pretty cool and unique, some parts are still exclusive to the set, and I also think that with the criticism the Shire got, due to some pretty bad building techniques, as well as it being overpriced, it just simply didn't sell that well, which led to less GWPs being given away either. And the ones that were given away just weren't sold that easily, since they were more interesting to keep than some random orcs and also didn't appear on LEGO Pick-a-Brick. Cause besides all of that, Deagol really isn't that special, just like Smeagol. Yes, he has cool printing on torso and face, and he comes with dual molded legs, but that's pretty much it. I mean, he is just a regular hobbit after all. I obviously wouldn't recommend paying almost $100 for a hobbit that has very little screen time, but I will definitely be more careful with my own Deagol minifig in the future, cause this price tag is crazy. But now please tell me, what is your personal most expensive modern Lord of the Rings minifigure that you own, and who surprised you the most to be on this list? Please share your thoughts with me in the comments down below. I'm currently thinking about redoing the general top 10 lists and rankings as well, since we got quite a couple of new sets and figures since I made those videos, so if you want to see an updated version of any of them, please let me know as well. But now I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, I would highly appreciate if you'd like to support the channel. If you're new, go to the subscribe button, and if you want to check out some more other videos, then on the screen right now.